Well, hello. It's a good start into it. A new channel. I thought I'd introduce myself. Now, the gammon is a name I've been called. I've been called a lot worse things. The N-word, not that N-word. The other one, for having a different opinion. So I thought I'd use the gammon rather than the N-word. Or the R-word. You can't say very much, can you, now on YouTube and other places, because you get censored. I hate censorship. I think everything should be allowed to be said discussion-wise. I don't think you should incite violence. No, that's not a thing that should be allowed. Incitement of violence is something completely different from being able to call somebody a cunt or whatever. You know what I mean? Because some people are, and some people are gammons. And I quite like the name. It made me laugh, so I thought I'd keep it. I'm going to talk about Brexit. That's quite in the news now, isn't it? Now, I am pro-Brexit. My reasons being is that the EU, not Europe, the EU, the institution, is a cesspit. It's an absolute corrupt cesspit, in my opinion. And from what I've seen, it is, you know. I mean, they never did the books properly. They were always asking for extra money. Oh, the British economy did well this year. We need another 2 billion off you then. What's that all about? You know what I mean? David Cameron paid it. Tit. But Brexit, yeah, I'm pro-Brexit. I hope we get out. I'd rather go out on World Trade Organisation just because we're not going to get arse fucked by the EU. You know what I mean? Fishing rights. I'm well up for fishing rights. See all these lefties saying yes, but it's only 0.2 of the economy or whatever. Like, if it's so little and insignificant, why are the French fighting so hard for it? You know, the Dutch. I've had not arguments, discussions with Dutch people. Because they've got big, massive, like industrial ships that just go around and scoop everything around British waters. You've got the Spanish. You know, and I don't dislike or hate any nationality of people. I honestly don't. I don't care what colour you are, creed you are, sex you are, whatever you are. I don't give a damn, really. I mean, you are what you are. You can't help that. I'm a white male, so hated and a gammon, and everything was my fault because I'm a white male. Which I find hilarious, and they're getting away with it. You know what I mean? Okay, let them do that. But back to Brexit. Now, I've seen some stuff on news. You've got that what do they call him? James, whatever, LBC, blowjob, or whatever they call him. Now, he put that thing up, a thing up about people having to have visas to work in different countries or to go. They're going to have to spend. They can only spend 3 months out of 6 months if they've got a holiday home. But all you've got to do is get a permit. It's not hard, and I'll tell you why. I know I'm not saying it's easy in all countries, but if you go to any country that's not in the EU, you have to get a visa or a permit, and that's that. Now, I've travelled. I've been to most of Southeast Asia. I've been to Pakistan. I spent a good 7 months around Asia, and I had to get a visa every time I went into a different country. You know, I'm an expat. I am a migrant myself. I live in Switzerland, which is not in the EU, and the economy is great. The wages are good. The standard of living is good, because they just don't let anybody and everybody into the country and say, here you are. You've just arrived. Here's a house. Here's some money. They do help, not migrants. They help refugees, proper refugees, but not migrants. I had to be checked out to come and live here. I had to have, obviously... there's Boris talking about getting rid of Khan. Yes. I'm not a big fan of Boris or any particular party. I'm a fan of the party that wants to do the right thing for the UK. Same as the Swiss do the right thing for Switzerland. And like I say, I had to be checked out to come and live here to prove I'm not a murderer or a rapist like the people they've been trying to deport but failed, which is also very shitty. They should be able to be deported. I do believe if I was to commit a heinous crime I should be deported from this country. I'm not one of them that's going to say that rule for you and this rule for me. Wouldn't be very nice for me, but then again, if I'd committed such a heinous crime, it wouldn't be very nice for the victims, would it? So you've got to look at that as well. In fact, the victims are more important. Maybe particularly the person who was murdered. They're the victim, but it's the families that are the victims. They have to live with that for the rest of their lives. So I'm a bit like that. In fact, when we can go back to the UK to see family, my wife wanted to go to London. And I thought, well, rather than, do it the normal way, get a plane and that, I thought I'd drive to France, park my car up, buy a dinghy and then go over by dinghy. You get 4-star hotel, spending money, somewhere to live. Yeah, that's like, it's like deal at Century, isn't it? Here, you don't get anything. If you were to if you need benefits here, you have got to have worked and put money into the system for at least 2 years. So it's a good system. It works. It stops people from just turning up and going, give me money. Give me money, give me money. It's the land of milk and honey. It's not. UK is. But as I say, I think I might. In fact, if I told them I was 15, I might be able to do better on my O-levels. You know what I mean? It's not a bad idea. I just thought I'd put this bit in as well. Jeremy Corbyn talking about the hostile environment. What about the hostile environment these people have caused and the suffering these people have caused to other people, and they've managed to stay? What a bag of shit that is. But that's just my opinion. If you're a commie, then you probably want them to stay. So, Brexit. Get out. Get rid of the idiots. Don't pay them any money. I won't pay them any more money. They say, you've got all these liabilities for all these buildings what we've built and all these things what we've put in. And it's just a load of bollocks, I can swear on this channel. I'm not monetised. I've got no subscriptions, so it doesn't matter, does it? I can just have a quick rant if I want. I had a guy from Europe who said he lived in Europe, because I made a comment on about the visas and passes and whatever that people would need if they get out of the EU. He claimed to have been living in a European country which he wouldn't divulge for 30 plus years. 20 plus years, nearly 30 years. I'll try and put a little clip up of some of his stuff. And now he claims he's got to get a work permit to do work, because he works all over Europe, in every single country in Europe, apparently. And he claims he'd have to get a visa or a work permit to work in every single country. Now, if you've lived in a country for nearly 30 years, you're almost a local, aren't you? You're paying taxes. You must be paying taxes to live there for 30 years. You must be working. You must be earning a living. So you're paying into the system, so therefore you would have all the rights of all the other people in the country. Now, if you've been in a country for nearly 30 years, you would have a passport from that country. You can have 2 passports. I can have a Swiss and a British passport. That's not a problem. You know what I mean? So I've got the benefits of both. So if you were living in, say, Spain, you've got a Spanish passport, you're still in the EU. You're still an EU member, so therefore you can work in any country in the EU. It's just that UK can't. They have to get a visa. So this is what he claims, but he also claims he's lived in a country in Europe for nearly 30 years. I haven't put his name on, but he did have a flag. Well, 3 flags. An EU flag, a British flag, Union Jack, and an EU flag in the middle of the other 2, which I found were hilarious because I was thinking of that song, Fools to the left of me, or whatever, Jokers to the right, and there I am stuck in the middle with you. But this is what he claims. It's bullshit. Now, what he did do is he's muted me because he couldn't handle it. He got a bit salty and had a hissy fit. But these are my answers to him on some of his. I could go and get all his posts from my notifications, but I'm not bothered about that. I don't want to dox him. He's just an idiot, But here are my answers to him from what he were claiming, and you can get an idea from that, can't you? And, give me your thoughts. Tell me if I'm making sense in my side of the argument. I know you can only see one side of the argument, but you've seen the ridiculous thing that he posted before the argument or whatever. Don't you love Twitter? If if you've got a holiday home and you can spend 6 months a year there, you're on a good screw, aren't you? You know, if you're complaining that you can only spend 3 months out of every 6 months here. That's a nice screw, isn't it? How do you do that? Yeah, you might be retired. Now, a lot of expats live in Europe, in France, in Spain. I've met a lot of them. I spent 8 years in Spain. And if you live there, like I say, you can get a passport, you can get permission, you can get residency, so therefore you can vote as well. And you can stay there as long as you want. There's no worries. I can't see any sense in Europe making problems for people who live there full time who are retired in any country. Just for economy fact, think about it. They're getting a pension and a pension pot from the UK. The money is leaving the UK and being injected into the Spanish, the French, the Italian, whatever economy it is. If they were to say, well, everybody's got to leave, I don't know how many UK citizens that are retired and live in different countries, but I know there's about 5 million Europeans living in UK. So I mean, if they've got rights, the British people should have the same rights, be on a par with that. But again, like I say, if they kick people out, how much money are they going to be losing? You know, because that money's not actually being generated in that country where they're living. That money is from a pension pot in the UK. So it's just all fear mongering and Project Fear, and what's the word I'm looking? Bollocks. You know what I mean? I'll leave you with a little clip about our fish. Thanks for all our fish. And I'll leave it on this one. There's lots going on in the world. There's lots of stuff I'd like to talk about. I hope you give it a thumbs up or even a thumbs down. I don't give a shit, right? But drop a comment in. Let's see the salt or the comments. I'd like, if there's something you'd like to me discuss, let me know in the comments. And subscribe, because I have no subscribers. This is the first video. All right? I'll see you later. Oh, the Gammon is the name the haters call me. Other people just call me Dave. See you later.
So long and thanks for all the fish. So sad that it should come to this. We try to warn you all, but oh dear, you may not share our intellect, which might explain your disrespect for all the natural wonders that grow around you. So long and thanks for all